This is Marita, a small town in northeastern Uganda, and a place where life revolves around one animal, the cow. Men and women who live here rely on the animal for their milk, their wedding gifts, for their school fees. War has been waged for the price of a cow. The trade in these animals flows freely across the nearby Kenyan border, and this cross-border trade is of considerable economic importance to the area. Yet this flourishing economy lacks financial and infrastructural support, and the opportunity to strengthen these long-standing trading habits formed the impetus behind a development process facilitated in the area. In August 2016, the community of Marita, alongside the other occupants of over 500 square kilometers of this land, partook in a process of map making. For 1 week, the local community were asked to share their knowledge through colours, symbols and yarns, and as the stories of this people echoed through the contours of their land, the complexity of this cross-border trade could be shared for the benefit of future generations. Today is the first day of a participatory mapping exercise known as P3DM, or Participatory Three-Dimensional Modelling. The process uses mapping as a means to engage the local community, to encourage them to consider their relationship to the land in which they live and the lives of which they lead.
Kasihnya mengalati John, kasihnya kebegitu, datang mau ketong keso kata keburan. Aku pergi saya, makanya itu kira mereka itu kita. Kau es tema soal terlihat kau tik pakai tak tenu gimana sana.
Sekarang aku yo, tora kasin, setelah kasin, kita kira yang bakal. Iya tu monu kaya ni. Kamu kaya tu nyamon ngakakil ta mga lagu nyayo.
Tini kiki pe chao, kita main kita kaya jam ke jo. Ini ka uji kau le tu kama ngai na kai. Kaya main ini kalau ke mai, ke wanya susah, ke le ke wanya pe, ke uji moru le. Uji kalau mi susah. Pakai talonia atau nyata ini ada je karek ngurus kela kaki yo ada monu paparen keu
is the community taking the lead so that they can be able to say exactly what needs to be mapped. You can see them arguing about where the boundary is. You can see them shifting things. You can see them replacing symbols. So that means that they are really engaging. It is a community that chooses the legend. It could be areas where they do the grazing. It could be where they do the farming. Or it could be a place where they go for market for livestock. So without the legend, the map is dumb and mute.
Over the last century, Pokot communities have settled in both Kenya and Uganda and live harmoniously with frequent migration and trade across this international boundary. But it was another border which was discussed with much more intensity during the mapping.
Sisi choni anyu kileta dini kitege poriene ja ko biga cha jeteje. Kimite cha mangot nyo kiega aseswa noni. Kimite cha mangot nyo mbakela pagete. So torot pagule nyo paishe chini pi. Mara keruta sana leji ke parmunu. Mara mbatona asije to ko kupo kupung kawe nyole nyono nyitin. Mbatoni ki nyerilwa go chanjoni ki mangeri nyako kondio ki perei kulamun jeteje ningeje. Tuchoni le yutin jo chanki ne ki ume na ta swanoni mbapercha. Yutin ko mun kini ki kiwonya nyoman.
Polotoye kiwani bako kanyan tata kinyo korota tata kinyo kimingata tata kinyo kingwali wani baba la tabascoeta cuenga chi inde coeta pe chi inde coeta lo coeta inde coeta pareni takul mon nge chini beta chei nyuru ni na kibiron jala casa to ni ke rotu ni na pirani ni mukulang.
After years of bloodshed, finally the community here are contemplating a better future. And the trade routes between Kenya and Uganda, which had previously been fraught with danger, are now flourishing.
Tineng tamane le kete galto ati le kumba Kenya. Kita kerja jauh ni wana, ambolo ta kita ke koroni tini. Kita kemite jauh ni wana pora wana. Kemakatat ni ba Uganda ko ni ba Kenya. Awa mi higini pat higini lewani kalata ki rubien je ta to ke chemi lo kol choe je te ipi men ja pa Kenya le to tene chu kiteni tumba ja pa Kenya muga anyo walta wana na ko to ka wala ka chomugi ang na ko kine sus fami sus to ka tena ko to ke oli ni ti cho tong wang ba chai cho chang ba chai yung na jon dang ko en kangara ka uri awal kita ni kare
Participatory mapping prioritizes the voices of the local community in their own path to development, but it also has a powerful application as a means of communication, and nowhere is this more important than with local policymakers who are already planning for the future of the Pokot.
The Pokots are pastoralists. They are people who move from one point to the other in search of pasture.
You see, among the Pokot, they believe that cattle are very precious and they hold them with very much value, and they value cattle more than anything. Somebody will fail to eat but will buy some medicine for his cattle. Somebody will get sick and they'll not bother to take them to the hospital, but they'll also buy medicine for the livestock. That's how serious the issue of pastoralism in this region is. They believe that as the generation gets aged, there must be that one child who has to be left back in the village so that can take care of the livestock. So in relation to education, you see, we perceive that it has promoted some backwardness and illiteracy.
Ku morning. Na about the number thing you can also mention no. Menyanyi mulai. Ko menyogu to den. Kinongelo mu kai. Kalau ko nyani nyo suya la nyani nyo mulo pita kala.
The issue of education, as far as Pokot community is concerned, is a big problem. It's a big challenge. As people who come from Pokot and are educated, sometimes it is even failing us to understand what could be the reason as to why Pokot does not want to embrace education.
Maisha tijeteji chini kikinyoru chale kikataba potine cha maisha wala kimengti wala utingile kan wala kimukai gatonda tijeta kongarak picho laga bola nye gipisia cha picho changapsa pisia cha gimbura kau beli mukoni cha ni sukul.
From water resources to seasonal grazing sites, from education to conflict and peace, the completed model holds the knowledge and the stories of a generation. And as the process draws to a close, the community members host a final day of celebration where government officials and development actors are introduced to the completed model of their land.
Mapping, I can say it should be a must, it should be a practice, because it brings out the knowledge of the communities. It is the community that is first. It is the community that knows their resources and how best they can protect them.
Anda kingitu na teonete kingitile anyimap na bokoronai usuya bala leo no ko rinja nye de bakote ku nyomi to ni le nyomen nyo suya le utingeta ba gi kenele a trenyu ka paso yo yar gu ko nyen yo jang ni nyo mu ka ba bi te jigere yara to gu kingero ku.
We are losing the knowledge of the elders. The knowledge of the elders in this community has never been documented.
Tegala dini berborol te kungarake ja kanyoni mu aja yele kisa aja nter yele teroti ngarake ti mbat si de ndio kitene jo kimite ja tini kitu ata ja tini gitu muni kanje